Okay, so today we're going to talk about arithmetic versus geometric um, series. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. And today you're just going to be identifying a common ratio or common difference within the problems. So I'm going to start by talking about what the differences are between them. So when we look at an arithmetic, when we look at an arithmetic sequence, what we see is values going up or going down by a given number. So I just looked this up here. We'll call that a common difference. So the way that we can figure out if it has a common difference is we subtract. We take this value right here, 8, and we subtract 2. And we go, well, 8 minus 2 is 6. So you take the next term divided by the previous term, or I'm sorry, not divided by, subtracting the previous term. And if that has a common number as you go up, so then we have 14 minus 8, yep, that's 6 as well. 20 minus 14, yep, that's 6 as well. Then we know that that has a common difference of 6. And that is going to be our value. We add 6 each time to get to the next one. So if I needed the next one in the term, I would add 6. Now in this one, I could do the same exact thing. I would take this 45 and I would minus that 50. I get negative 5. Now I want to go to the next term and see if it's following that same pattern. So 40 minus 45, yep, negative 5. 35 minus 40, negative 5. We see that common difference. So to get the next term, I would subtract 5 and I would be at 25 in this one. So that's how we deal with common differences. So I'm going to pop back to our actual lesson here and talk about a common ratio, which is going to be a geometric. So that's arithmetic. So I have here that the goal is to recognize whether a sequence is arithmetic or geometric. So that is arithmetic. Arithmetic, like think of arithmetic, right? That's adding and subtracting. So if you're adding or subtracting a number to get to the next term, then that's going to be arithmetic. Geometric is going to be where we either multiply or divide to get to the next term. Multiply or divide. So here is another example of that. I'm actually going to go down here because this one's easier to see, and then we'll talk about this word problem as well. So in this one, the first thing that I start to do is I go, okay, does negative 18 minus a negative 3, negative 18 minus a negative 3, that would give me a negative 15, right? A negative 15, because it would be negative 18 plus 3. So I would get negative 15. So then I go to the next one and I take negative 108 and I subtract negative 18 and I'm nowhere near that negative 15. So that's the dead giveaway that this is not a difference. This is not a difference. It's not going up by the same thing. So the other thing that we can do is we can divide by the previous term. So we either subtract by the previous term or divide by the previous term. So I'm going to whip out my calculator, okay, my cell phone calculator. And for this one, I'm going to take, and we probably don't need to do this one in our calculator. We can do this in our head. The negative 18 divided by a negative 3 is going to be a positive 6. That's negative over a negative will be a positive. So 18 divided by 3 is going to be positive 6. Okay, so now I've done the 18 and the negative 3. So now I go to the next term and I take negative 108, and I have to turn my cell phone sideways to do the negative. It's that little guy right there. Okay, negative 108. And I'm going to divide by the previous term, which is negative 18. So divide by 18, and then I put the negative, and I hit enter, and look at there. I've got 6 again. I'm going to try it one more. I usually try to do it at least 3 times. So I'm going to take the negative 648, and I'm going to divide by the negative 108, and I get 6. That means that each time I am going to multiply by 6. I multiply by 6. So in this one, it's known as a common ratio, an R, when we have geometric, and this is going to be a ratio of 6. Okay, so when we get to ones like this, because this is going to be your homework is going to be like, tell me whether it's arithmetic, tell me whether it's geometric, tell me whether it's neither. This one right here, if I look at it and I go, okay, so 4 minus 2, I always do subtraction first. I try that. 4 minus 2 would be 2. So then I do 12 minus 4 up, not 2. So this does not have a common difference. Let's see if it has a common ratio. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. That actually doesn't have a common ratio either. Okay, so this one is neither. This one is neither. Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing today. You're going to be looking at these and deciding whether they're arithmetic or geometric or neither. The last one I'm going to do is this one right here, talking about the price of tickets at an amusement park. When I have this one, I first look at it and I go, okay, so I'm going to take 55 minus the previous one, and that went up by $5 year one. Then I go to the next one and I go $60.50 minus 55. Oh, that went up by $5.50. So this does not have a common difference, okay, when I'm subtracting, because there is changing. It's not the same difference. It's close, but it's not the same. So since it doesn't have a common difference, I immediately go, okay, the other thing that I can check, does this have a common ratio? So I'm going to take my 55 and I'm going to divide by 50. Remember, we divide by the previous term. Just like we subtract, we divide. And I get 1.1. Okay, so I'm going to take my next value of 60.5 and I'm going to divide by 55, the previous term. I get 1.1 again. Okay, we're going strong. Let's try one more. 66.55 divided by 60.5. If it's at 1.1, it is. So this is going up by basically 10% each year is what's happening. The cost is going up by 10% because I'm multiplying by 100% of what it was times another 10%. So in order to get year four, I would take my 66.55 and I'd multiply times 1.1. I'd multiply times 1.1. That's my ratio, is R equals 1.1. So it would be $73.20. And then the next year, I do the same thing, times 1.1. $80.53 is what I'd have to charge for admission. So that shows you that. It says, what would it be in year 6? I could keep on going by multiplying by 1.1. So that is how we are going to look at and decipher the difference between arithmetic or geometric. If it's arithmetic, then you are adding or subtracting each time. So that's where you take the term and then subtract the previous term each time. If it's a geometric, then that means that you're taking the term and dividing by the previous term, dividing, which means that you're going to end up multiplying by whatever term there is there. Okay, good luck.